Howdy guys, Cal Kellogg here. As you can probably hear, I'm out here, I'm at Collins Lake, and I am in a pretty stiff... No sooner did I start that report than I got a little pan-sized rainbow here. This one jumped all over a tube. It's kind of dancing in on the chop there. There he is, nice little pan-sized rainbow. We'll get him back in the water. Cal Kellogg here. As you can probably hear through the mic, it is really windy out here. I'm out at Collins Lake, and another low pressure area is moving into Northern California. It's time for a Northern California fishing report, and let's lead off with the weather before we get into the lakes. You can completely reset the clock. Whatever you were seeing on foothill lakes, on mountain lakes, you know, 10 to 14 days ago, that is gone. That is over. Things have absolutely changed. I mean, we had weather upwards of, 85, 90 degrees here in the foothills just 10 days ago, and now we've had low pressure area after low pressure area push through the state. The temperature has dropped a bunch. We've had rain, we've had wind, and here at Collins Lake, the surface temperature is down a full 11 degrees, and everything has changed. We went from having water that was just approaching 70 degrees in the afternoon in the shallows. Right now, mid-afternoon, it's 58.2, and we've only had a fluctuation of about 1 degree in the temperature today, due in large part to this wind. We've got more rain in the forecast tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 19th of April, it's Tuesday. We've got rain on Wednesday. We've got big rain on Thursday. We've got a lot of wind in the forecast. So not only has that changed what's going on at our local lakes, it's also extended the spring season. We lost all that temperature. We've had inflow into the lakes, and it's just going to make the spring season that much longer. Big picture, that's excellent, outstanding, but in the short term, it makes for challenging fishing. Here at Collins Lake, I am still on big numbers of trout. The DFW came here, they dumped in a lot of pan-sized fish. We've been catching a lot of pan-sized fish. We've been catching some larger fish up to about 4.5 to 5 pounds, but we haven't been seeing those big double-digit fish that we had been getting. I'm still pretty much finesse trolling. I'm pulling Trout, Trix worms, I'm pulling grubs, I'm pulling flies, and I'm pulling tubes teamed with action discs. That's what's been working out here. Everything remains in the top 15 feet of the water column. The fish are moving around quite a bit, as you'd expect in these kind of conditions. Everything's different, every single day when you get out on the water. So if you're coming to Collins Lake, put on your confidence lures, set your speed for anywhere from 1.8 to 2.2. Be methodical, and you're going to get your bites, you're going to get your fish. Today, in really windy conditions like this, we had upwards of 30 fish today. Nothing big, but we had steady action all day long. Come on out to Collins Lake, guys, and go big. We double hooked these fish and put them both in the boat on our trolling flies. Good job, Reese.
Thank you.
Bet. Okay, other foothill destinations. Lake Pardee. Hard to get a report on a Pardee, but they are planting it heavily, and guys are catching trout. The kokanee are small, but the trout bite is good on fish up to about 7.5 or 8 pounds. Trigger Spoon Juniors are working well. FHS grubs are working well. Cripple lures are working well, as are chrome and blue cast masters. That's pretty much the story there for boaters. Now your bank anglers, they're soaking all the usual suspects: power bait, Berkeley mice tails, and of course inflated worms fished off the bottom. All that stuff is working. So standard approaches off the bank. Trollers are using the more finesse stuff. Some guys are using speedy shiners, and they are catching fish on those, but by and large, the slower speed stuff, the grubs, the small spoons, is working better at Lake Pardee. Lake Comanche. The big news out of Comanche is the outstanding bass action that's on tap out there. Guys are catching up to 20 bass a day. Bass up to 9 pounds are hitting. Swim baits, Cincos, plastics, all the usual suspects are catching bass out at Comanche. All the stuff scoring off the bank still. Power bait, power bait, power bait. Find a fish. Don't spend more than about 30 minutes at any one spot. If you're not hooking up, move on. Find some fish somewhere else. Out on the water, the trollers, they're pulling speed spoons, speedy shiners. They're mixing in trolling flies. That's the fast stuff. If they need to slow down, it's all about threaded worms and grubs. My FHS grubs are working great out there. Berkeley Power grubs are working great out there. You know, go, if you gotta slow down, go with your confidence grub, mix your spread up, get a night crawler out there. And whether you're going fast or slow, flies are an outstanding choice at Lake Comanche. You know, you can go with the metalheads, you can go with more traditional flies. Just keep a fly in the water, something that imitates shad, and you're gonna be yelling fish on. Most of the trout out there are 1 to 2 pounds, but there are some real bruisers in the mix. You just gotta be patient, sort through some fish, and you're gonna get those big boys on the end of your line eventually. Lake Amador. Lake Amador, #1 place in Northern California for really big trout. The big trout bite has backed off just a little bit, but trout up to 13 pounds are very possible out there. Speedy shiners, speed spoons, Rapalas are working well for the trollers. When they have to slow down, it's a lot like Comanche. Trolling flies and grubs, either FHS grubs or Berkeley Power grubs. Pink grubs have been working really good at Amador. The sleeper bite at Amador is the crappie bite. There are a lot of crappie available. Guys throwing mini jigs and stuff, they're doing very well on crappie. If crappie's your thing, don't hesitate, don't wait around. Get on over to Lake Amador and get your crappie on. I talked about Collins Lake. The high mountain stuff, guys, it's pretty much on the back burner right now. We're back into snow, ice, stuff like that. All those bites have been pushed back. Maybe a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. We got to see what this weather pattern's gonna bring for us. Is it gonna warm back up? Are we gonna continue to get snow in the high country? Lake Elsinore is sticking out fish, but you got to get there. You're gonna have to drive through snow. You might have to drive through some ice, and that's not for everybody. So right now, I would stick with the foothill stuff. There is too much good action to be had here in the foothills to go up and risk getting caught in the snow, sliding in the ice, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be plenty of Sierra and high mountain action to come. Right now, you're best served to enjoy the foothill fishing, get out between weather fronts, do some experimenting, stick with the basics, and you're gonna take some fish home. That's pretty much our report here for today. I wanna get this gear stowed, get the boat back in the slip, and go back to camp and grab some late lunch / early dinner. And I know Lucy here, she's on the seat. She feels the same way. I'm Kel Kellogg, and I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube, guys. Thanks for all the support. And if you're looking for gear, fishhuntshoot.com. Thanks a lot.